GM.
Welcome back. Welcome back, Chris. Good to have you back.
Absolutely. I'm always happy to be on here.
Me too. We always have
It's
some
always
good
a sad
chats here.
day when when we don't have the dynamic duo running it
Yeah,
on. So
agreed. Well, many more of these to come here, so excited.
absolutely.
Thank you for tuning in, everyone. We got a few people in here already. We'll go through just the regular disclaimer that nothing we say is financial advice, so please don't take it as financial advice. And our views may not necessarily represent those of Superseed, but we are here to talk about some Superseed stuff today. Um, get into the chats if you have any like questions or anything like that. But yeah, like we'll have a lot of news dropping here over the coming weeks. We've kind of teased it a little bit, but the Superseed app is getting very, very close now. So that's kind of the big news on our end. We are getting very close. It's going to be sometime in June. We should have some more major news on that, like maybe an official launch date next week. So stay tuned. Yeah, things are getting very exciting on our end, heating up. But yeah, just to kind of run through, like the new Superseed app is, I mean, it's got a big phased rollout that we're doing all the way up to the Superseed EP, which we've kind of talked about. Go check out our pinned blog, our pinned article that we have on X. Gives you a little bit more insight, but yeah, we should be like running through the phases pretty soon here. We've had a lot of work going in the background. But yeah, like our strategies marketplace is going to be launching very, very soon here. That's going to be very exciting, giving people some kind of curated strategies to start earning. And then our money market is going to be rolling out very soon after that. And then the Super USD token, which is like a strategy in itself and opens up the door to like many, many more earning possibilities. So yeah, exciting times ahead. Are you pumped?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, it's so ironic. Everything's warming up for the summer, like besides
Yeah.
the crypto market seems. So yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Besides the crypto markets, there are still, but I mean, we kind of typically there's usually like a sell in May and go away kind of theme in the markets. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see if
Yeah.
we can get above that.
Yeah. But no worries. We'll be here chatting it
We'll
up.
be here. We'll be here keeping it hot. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Um, Yeah. Well, I mean, the summertime's a perfect time for people to put their money on Copilot anyway. So, yeah,
True.
we couldn't be launching at a better time. So, giving people some earning possibilities. You want to make your money productive. We're going to have some strategies for you, and like just to give people idea of the money or the markets that we're building for. It's like we are built. This is purpose built for the stablecoin industry. But we see this as like the hot sector coming up here as TradFi onboards onto crypto rails. I personally believe that there's like trillions and trillions sitting on the sidelines that is yet to be onboarded. I mean, there's proof of that in the TradFi money markets already, and stablecoins have just been up and to the right ever since like 2019. Since I mean, and then yeah, even more when the Genius Act passed. So yeah, it's going to be exciting. It doesn't matter if we're in a bear market, bull market. Stable coins have been up and to the right, just up only. So yeah, we're building for that market.
For sure. Yeah, guys, I mean, we've we've been hounding on it for so long that fundamentals up only, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's all you can hope for now
exactly.
in these little
And
states.
and the cool thing about what we're building also is um, we're going to have like very clear, transparent risk reporting. Something that I think has been a little bit like neglected or not as big of a focus in the industry, and this is why there is probably still trillions to be onboarded. Like people are still a little bit scared of DeFi, especially with everything going on with AI. And like, yeah, it makes sense. People have their fears, but like the way that we can kind of make those fears less and get more people into DeFi is by having the just like very thorough and clear and transparent risk reporting, and that's going to be a big factor, a big uh, part of our upcoming Superseed app here is just having these like going through liquidity, governance, security, DVN signers, time lock, all the risks that your money could be exposed to. We're going to make that very clear, and we're going to aggregate all this and give like good risk ratings on everything. And in the future, you're even going to have like custom curated risk where you'll be able to like select different parts of different strategies and like replace them with other strategy or other pieces, and like just delete different things that you think are too high risk and replace them with something lower risk. Like it's going to be very customizable, and I think that's going to be a big differentiator for us.
For sure. I think people are kind of like, I don't think people have caught on yet to like the power of really optimize like risk profiles, and why that's
Mhm.
important for other people coming in for the space in general. It just doesn't really exist. There's like very few good risk profilers in the space.
Yeah, agreed. Oh, and like even the good ones, like just don't nobody's even like using them or like even seeing
Yeah,
them too much. Like it's very fragmented. So I think pulling that all together and aggregating it all in one place is going to be very important. So yeah, it's something I think that can really set us apart.
absolutely. Yeah.
And yeah, so like, what is going to be the next big catalyst? We've talked about this many times. I still think that the Clarity Act is going to be something that like really pulls all of TradFi into crypto. Um, you kind of see it already, like the Genius Act that passed previous to this Clarity Act, started onboarding like every basically as soon as the Genius Act passed, like billions and billions and more stable coins have been onboarded onto crypto rails, and this Clarity Act like really kind of opens that up even further and makes it like very seamless for TradFi to like start onboarding like very heavily onto crypto rails. So this is going to be a big deal. It passed the Congress, like it's passed the Senate Banking Committee on when was it in May, middle of May. So now it's just gonna it needs to pass the Senate, and I guess the latest odds on that are basically by June or July, it should have its time to get voted on in the Senate. Right now, I think we're sitting at, let's check the latest in polling market here. I think polling market's not loading. Oh, there it is. 57%. So yeah, like I think this is still pretty low odds. Should be a little bit higher, but I guess as soon as we get closer, the only thing that's like kind of holding it back right now is like Congress or Senate. They only meet a certain amount of times to vote on stuff, and there's like a lot of other bills that are also like kind of like taking up that time. So like people are still speculating if this bill is going to like have its moment to even get voted on in June or July. So I guess we'll see what happens. Hopefully, there's no more government shutdowns and stuff like that. But I think it it looks like that it's being prioritized at least. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a slow process,
Yeah,
as we
government,
said last
anything
week,
government
or
is slow.
a few weeks ago. So
Yeah, and like this is pretty cool. Like this just passed 8 trillion now. We're above the 8 trillion mark. So this is the money market funds. So this is basically like if you were to look at the DeFi TVL today, it's like in the tens of billions or whatever on crypto. This is like looking at the TVL of the TradFi markets and the same thing. Like how many people are putting their like US dollars to work in the TradFi markets to try to earn yield on it. It's in the like this is now past 8 trillion. So yeah, trillions and trillions of dollars of US denominated capital that is like just sitting there that wants to be productive and earn. and we can do it in a much like cleaner, more transparent, less fees way on crypto rails. And I think that all this, like these trillions of dollars, eventually move into the market cap of the stablecoin TVL here. So yeah, promising times ahead, anyways.
It looks like these are money market funds too, so the average return is going to be like the same as like a stable coin yield,
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
So yeah,
Exactly.
definitely needs some of that capital to roll over at some point.
Yeah,
Stable coin money markets. When?
win, exactly. Um, I wanted to show this to you too. I talked about this a little bit last week, but I want to get your reaction to this because this a little bit surprised me. So as of like 2025, 2026, it's still only 10% of this is the US. I think it's even less globally. But yeah, like only 10% of Americans are using crypto. I thought we passed that mark. We hit this mark back in 2021, 2022, and it's actually declined since then, and then it's just starting to come back up now. So yeah, we're still only around 10%. So there's still 90% of all Americans, and I would guess like it's around that or maybe even more that are still not like have never interacted with crypto in their lives. So yeah, we're still super early.
I wonder how they do these statistics because there's probably more that use it like passively, not actively. You know, they don't really understand what's going on, but maybe some part of their software is interacting with crypto systems. But also, I don't know, to be fair. 10%, that's 30 million people in the US, 35 million people. So,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it sounds like fairly accurate. You could be right. Like, I mean, as like Meta and all these different like TradFi companies like start to like integrate crypto, people aren't even going to be aware that they're interacting with crypto. So that's a good point. So if this is like kind of like a survey sort of situation where people are just like asking if they've interacted with crypto, maybe they aren't even aware of it. That's a good point. But yeah, anyways, regardless, I still think this kind of number surprised me. I thought we were over the 10% mark yet, but apparently not. We are still very, very early.
yeah. Well, we always love to hear that. That's the
Yeah,
that's the best thing to hear.
exactly. Um, I thought this was super interesting too. I don't know if you came across this the past like week or two here, but like basically, so Sam Altman, everybody knows, is the founder or CEO of OpenAI, and basically he went to like Y Combinator, which is like a startup accelerator, and instead of offering them like millions of dollars or whatever to buy into their startups to get like a piece of ownership in their startups, he actually offered them $2 million in OpenAI like tokens, like compute
Hmm.
basically. He offered as like in exchange for equity in their companies. So I thought that was like super interesting because people have been talking about like how compute is going to become like a new currency and people are going to start using that, and it's actually starting to happen. Like people are, he's literally using compute tokens as a currency to get equity. So I thought that was pretty wild. Did you come across this?
I didn't see this, but this is a great. Honestly, this is nice because you just reduce the risk of your founder going to like the Caribbeans and partying with all the money. You know what I mean? This
Yeah,
kind
that's a
of
good point.
is a good system of doing things, in my opinion. But also, to an extent, you know, how useful are um these tokens truly? It remains to be seen.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, you're basically ensuring that like, hey, like you need to use these tokens now to build stuff. Um, yeah, it's weird, but like, yeah, people have been kind of speculating about this. Like, compute is becoming a new currency. I don't think it's going to become the currency or anything like that. I think it'll become like one currency. Like people will use compute. You can actually see this, like if you've seen with like Venice AI, they have a token called DM, um, and it basically tracks like $1 worth of compute in the Venice AI like ecosystem. So you can there kind of is markets already for compute. I mean, my guess is that they're going to become even more valuable in the future. You're pretty deep into this field, so like maybe you can give some insight there. Like, do you think like the cost of compute is going to continue to go up, or do you think it's going to eventually come down over time?
I mean, it all depends on supply demand, right? So right now the demand is going crazy up and the supply is not matching it.
Yeah,
Um, but I don't know, you've probably heard about like all these AI companies investing in massive infrastructure projects for like for energy and for compute and all this stuff. At some point, it might taper off. It just depends. It depends what the demand is. They have to build the infrastructure and then we'll get better like price for the average
price
consumer.
discovery.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Hmm.
But I mean, we're not there yet. And I'm sure as like tokens do become more valuable, everybody in the entire world is going to like be begging for these massive energy infrastructure projects because,
Yeah,
you want to be able
yeah,
to
it
do
just brings
stuff.
down the
So,
cost. Absolutely. And I mean, the angle that I'm kind of going here is that like everything is going to be tokenized over time. Even like compute, like they're literally are tokens, but like just like how Venice AI has already kind of tokenized compute with the like DM token, I kind of foresee that like everyone's going to do that. And like I think everything just eventually becomes tokenized to that point. Like SpaceX here, they talked about how they're going to be going like straight to retail investors. I think this is pretty cool. Like at least the sentiment around it that like usually when like a big company like SpaceX IPOs, it's like it's very hard to get like any sort of like allocation still, even though it's in the public markets, you buy it like super high. But like they are going to be giving like the at least the IPO price to like as many retail investors as possible, which is cool to see. Um, but I think that this can be taken like 10x steps further by just like introducing everything onto crypto rails. And I do foresee that like eventually everything becomes tokenized. Like there's really no need for like all of this legal like stuff to be like they make it so complex. There's so much like dollars that go into like setting up these IPOs that like everything can be done so much more efficiently and you can remove so many middlemen and like reduce so many fees by doing IPOs on chain in the future.
yeah.
And I think we just need like one company, like someone like Elon or someone to do something like this on chain in the future. I think it's going to happen, and eventually everything just becomes on chain.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the better system for kind of these initial launches. Will
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, it's interesting, like this idea of compute as a new currency, because obviously you can't pay for everything in compute. Compute as a currency is very limited still. Um, but we'll see. We'll see how that changes as more people kind of adopt it. There's also a problem where tokens don't really have like a determined amount of use yet. You can have 1 million tokens or you can have 1,000 tokens. It's not really clear and precise how much you can do with that many tokens.
yeah,
Um, so that's kind of another place where like tokens are kind of an ambiguous currency because you need a lot of expertise to know how to use the tokens. You need a lot of like um, I guess time. There's also risk involved. So it's not as clear as like, hey, $1,000 is gonna buy me this, and this. That like 1,000 tokens is gonna fix these problems in the same way. It just depends.
yeah,
So
exactly.
we do have to like see tokens becoming more efficient at solving specific tasks in a certain amount of like tokens. You know what I mean? We have to
Yeah,
really demonstrate that this is like viable over and over and over and over. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of people talking about that. Like token optimization is like going to be like a huge like kind of sub market in itself. Um, yeah, I completely agree, and I think that's why it becomes like if you tokenize these things, you set a market for it. Then at least you can. There's market forces at play to try to make it like try to find equilibrium, anyways. So yeah, let's see. I think like everything, like I said, the whole world is going to become tokenized, and like you kind of already see this, like with RWAs, like real world assets becoming tokenized. Um, where is that? Oh yeah, like it's only like around $26 billion has been tokenized on chain right now, but like you can see the chart here. It's up and to the right, just like the stablecoin industry. So like this is going to be another very hot sector. Everything just eventually comes on chain, including like real estate, and everything that you can buy in traditional markets becomes tokenized, and comes on chain. And then to kind of like make it full circle back to like what we're building at Superseed is like there's going to be markets for everything. There's going to be like, as all these assets become tokenized, you're going to want to make them productive. Like imagine like holding a basket of like real estate tokens, tokenized real estate, and like then you can like deposit them into like a CDP and like borrow against them, use them as collateral, and then like borrow dollars against them, so you don't have to liquidate your real estate holdings, and then like take those dollars and like loop them if you want to earn even more yield. So like all the like DeFi and the whole crypto system just makes everything way more efficient, and yeah, reduces the
Yeah,
middleman and makes it better for everyone.
for sure. For sure, for sure. Yeah, I think it's been pretty demonstrated how good these on-chain on-chain like liquidity events and like launches can be in terms of UX, in terms of like just good distribution, clarity, transparency, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like ICOs were like a huge thing in 2017, and then they got a bad rap because like obviously like whenever new technology exists, like there's going to be bad actors tend to like kind of take advantage of them first because there's no regulations around them, so they get a little bit of a bad rap. But like the technology is amazing. Like it democratizes finance, it democratizes everything for the average person. Like I think that's what we need. Like the average retail person deserves to like get access to like a SpaceX, like before it gets to the IPO round, like just like venture capitalists do. So that's what ICOs can like open up, is like, hey, imagine like buying into SpaceX when it's only like $10 million in a seed round, and then now it's worth like trillions of dollars when it IPOs. So like most of that it's like eaten up by private investors, like accredited investors, and that needs to be democratized and like opened up to the general public. So this is
For
what
sure.
ICOs and crypto like make available anyways.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, and I think people are gonna like eventually catch on because, it's in their interest to do things well and cheaply and efficiently, right? So,
Yeah, anyways, that's all I had on the DeFi tokenization front. So just as like looping it back together here, for those that didn't catch the beginning of the episode, like put your notifications on, because like as of next week we're going to have more news, probably an official launch date. But the Superseed app, for those have been in the community that have been sticking around waiting for this day to happen for a long time, it's coming very close here. It's going to be happening in June. Next week we should have more news, and we'll hopefully have an official launch date, so stay tuned. Yeah, follow along on our socials, and things are about to get exciting anyways.
heck yeah. I'm
Heck
excited.
yeah.
Listen,
Anyways,
we're
now
pretty
on the
excited over here. Yeah.
we're pretty excited. Anyways, a couple more things. Didn't have you last week. So I wanted to like talk to you a little bit about AI and crypto, and like robots and all that sort of stuff. I thought there's some like interesting stuff going on. Robots are just like hitting up the, I don't know, at least on my timeline, I'm just seeing robots everywhere. Uh, but like they're coming fast. I think they're gonna have like their Chat GPT moment here soon. Well, like Chat GPT like just opened up like AI to the masses. I think robots are gonna have their moment here soon. Like they're they're starting to build like these customized, like half humanoid, half custom robots now. They're starting to like eat up like blue collar like work and everything. And then there's an like I showed you on one of the past episodes, the figure robot that was going through and like he raced like a human to do like packaging and stuff like that. Well,
Yeah, yeah.
apparently they got like a bunch of contracts now, like JC Penney and like all these big companies are now like ordering a bunch of these robots to like work in their factories. So yeah, I think robots are really having a moment right now.
I think they definitely are for enterprise. I mean, robots have been pretty adopted in enterprise for a while, and that will only continue, obviously. I think the biggest change will just be the like into the retail world, into the normal society
Mm,
adoption, which is going to be kind of hard. In the West, I think it's going to be a little bit weird. It's going to be a lot of pushback. I, I
yeah,
I mean, in the East, like people are they're already ahead of this. It seems like they have a lot more
it's true.
robotics in their restaurants and their service facilities and their whatever. So people kind
Yeah,
of got used to it. But
it's a good point. Yeah, like I've seen videos like in like China and different places in the East that like you see like robots walking on the streets and stuff already. Like they're pretty integrated with this stuff, so maybe it won't be as big of a shock. And it's also a good point that like here in the West, like a lot of the first robot usage is going to be in factories and stuff like that. So I guess the average human's not going to see them, but like the shock moment is going to be like, yeah, when people start ordering them and getting deliveries for having their humanoid robots at home, that's going to be a big moment. I think, yeah, it's going to be
for sure.
interesting and opens
Yeah,
up
I
a bit
mean,
of a debate.
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely right. Like, I'm just curious how people in the West are gonna react because they just tend to not react well to anything that's like um
Different, big change.
different or like they view it as like taking over what they are supposed to do, you know. There's
Yeah.
I think there's a healthy amount of like pushback. There's kind of a it's weird because you don't expect this in the West, right? Like the West is supposed to be a little bit more liberal, more like progressive. But man, are they behind on tech, seems like, versus some other places. At least socially, as a society, like accepting certain stuff, like technological advancements. But
So
yeah,
on that point, I wanted to show you this because like they talked about this a little bit on the All In podcast. How like there is a little bit of a misinformation campaign going on right now. Like there is a bit of like truth coming out about like foreign competitors like China and Russia and stuff like that. They are kind of getting involved in it a little bit. Like it seems obvious when you kind of think of it like from a few steps back, but like China wants to win the AI race as bad as the US wants to win the AI race. So it makes sense to try to like spread some misinformation about AI. Like they've been like basically um, trying to provoke a little bit of these like movements and stuff like that, and because there's people like protesting like these data centers being built. And yeah, like it turns out that like China and Russia have been a little bit behind some of this. So it makes
for
sense, but
sure.
like yeah, it's interesting nonetheless.
The the psychological operation wars are really heavy. And it doesn't
Yeah,
help that like the West is super social media like brained nowadays,
yeah.
you know what I mean? I mean, this is something that like people are kind of starting to understand, but like the amount of influence on your timeline and your information consumption that you have no idea where it came from, why it's there, like who benefits from it, like it is crazy. It is crazy how much the average person consumes without actually like thinking deeply about any of that or understanding what's happening to them. Like, yeah,
Yeah, it's a very good point. And like Elon talked about this actually. Like X is the only algorithm that is open source. Like every other major algorithm from every other social media company is closed off. Like you don't know like what's actually going into the algorithm, why that your feed is the way that it is. It's like there's been many documentaries about it. Like everybody knows that like the algorithms they want you to like stay on the app as long as possible. So they're gonna feed you like whatever they can to like get you like activated, basically, to get you like hyped up and want to like share stuff. And so yeah, it's definitely something that needs to be studied more. And there's a lot of people that really, I think, are suffering from it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's it's gonna be strange time in the
Yeah,
US. Very
strange times
political
ahead for
time.
sure.
Very chaotic
Yeah.
probably, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah, and, like, the point I wanted to kinda make was that, like, hey, like, I think there is, like you said, like, there's, like, rightfully some concerns about AI and stuff like that, but I think it is overblown, and I think that too many people, at least in the mainstream, are hating on AI right now, and we need to like do a better job of like people that are in the industry and like building with AI and building with crypto. We need to do a better job of like promoting like all the good stuff that is coming with this
Yeah,
technology, because
absolutely.
there's so much good that's going to come from this, and people are just like very much blind to it. Like for example, there's been some big breakthroughs that like basically they're gonna in the very near future they're already developing like a new shot that's gonna basically completely eliminate like heart disease almost. Like
I've heard
by
about
reducing like LDL, like bad cholesterol, like you're soon going to be able to take a shot that's going to basically like massively lower your risk of heart disease, which is like one of the top killers of all humans. It's like basically cancer and heart disease that kill most human beings. So like yeah, in the future, like AI is going to solve so many of these things. Like the reason you're going to be able to get a shot that's going to like basically like massively reduce your odds of getting cancer and heart disease in the future is because of AI. So I think we need to do a better job of promoting those things.
I will say it is pretty embarrassing how bad the messaging is on AI, like, utility from tech Twitter, like, from tech, like,
Yeah,
social media, you know? It is very much like, "Be scared, you will lose everything soon."
yeah, exactly.
So, not great for the average person, but, yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. And I think one of the next debates that's going to be coming online soon, and probably there's going to be misinformation around and like be used to like fear people, is robots. This is why like I want to talk about it more. There's going to be a lot of good that comes from robots. There's also going to be a lot of like dangerous stuff that can come from robots, and like China's already like assigning digital IDs to humanoid robots, like basically like so that you can identify them. And I think that like the bad part about like our like democracy here in the Americas is that like it's very very slow. China moves so fast on these things, and I wish that we could move faster in the Western world. But like, yeah, we need stuff like this. Like, you need to be able to like identify each robot, each AI in the future, and like who owns it and like who controls it, um like who's liable for it basically. So yeah, we
Yeah.
need to get ahead of some of this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if that ever happens. That's it's like a very, hard thing to do in the US, people like their privacy. They have a lot of rights,
Yep.
and, there's more friction points for you to be able to do things. So, we'll see how good that system holds up versus others. Well, optimistic.
Yeah,
I'd
exactly.
rather be here than anywhere else, you know what I mean?
Agreed. Yeah, yeah, me too. Like it's in the Americas, like I'm not in the US or anything like that, but like in the Western world, I think the US is like the place to be for like still like living the American dream, like having your chance to like make it and having your chance at freedom to do what you want and have a good standard of living. So yeah, I hope we can keep that going. Yeah, I agree. It's still one of the best places in the world to be, and yeah, I think I just wish that could move a little bit faster. Like you can just
Yeah,
like see how slow things are with the Clarity Act right now. And yeah, I mean, hopefully that stuff like that gets passed.
for sure. For sure, for sure.
Anyways, that's all I had for this week. Just to kind of wrap it up and reiterate once again, the big news on Superseed front here is that like we're getting very very close to the Superseed app launch. So stay tuned. Next week we should have some bigger major news around like when everything is going to be launching and stuff like that. So yeah, stay tuned. Things are going to get exciting for us very fast here.
Exciting times. Yeah, yeah. I'm ready. I'm ready
Thanks
for it.
everybody. Keep tuning in. Yeah, we'll keep you posted on everything that's happening.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining.
Hey, nice to be on with you, as always.
As always. See you again soon. See you,
Take
everyone.
care.